Good afternoon. It is Thursday, May the 4th. This is an emergency podcast. Usually on Thursdays, we do a weekly episode. We're just going to do it here live today. So if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, it took place live on Facebook and on Twitter, but it'll be available shortly in podcast form. Wow. I don't know what happened in the last week, but I mean, the entire month of April, the Chicago Cubs looked like they did in 2015, but this last week, this was last year's team. I don't know what to say. You know, the sweep in Miami, losing every single game by 1 run, that hurts. Obviously, you win the game Monday, but then, I mean, to lose 3 out of the 4 to the Washington Nationals, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. And you know what? This is, of course, I'm just going to overreact because that's what we do live. Raw emotions. I turn the game on in the top of the 9th. Ian Happ gets on base. Seiya Suzuki hits the ball to the wall. And I was screaming at the TV, send him. I knew when Ian Happ didn't go. I literally took the picture of the score bug when Ian was on third, Seiya was on second. I sent it to people. I said, I guarantee you we will finish this inning with 0 runs. What happened? Bellinger struck out. Wisdom struck out. And then, of course, we finally get the pop fly that we were hoping for the first 2 outs. Trey Mancini flies out to the right fielder in foul territory. And then Call comes up and hits a walk-off home run. What do you say? What do you say? It's like they announced, like the breaking news came out during the game that Matt Mervis is getting called up tomorrow. That's great. I'm excited. He's going to play at Wrigley Field tomorrow. It's a 3-game set with the Marlins. You can understand why I'm not excited for this series. Dude, I'll tell you what. I lost it last night. Eric Hosmer is your designated hitter, and you send him up there to bunt? What planet does that make sense? You ask your designated hitter to bunt. So, yes, I'm happy that Matt Mervis is coming up tomorrow because I really, really, really hope that the corresponding move is Eric Hosmer's out of here. And I know my last episode, I was like, oh, yeah, we'll keep him around if he's hitting well and the Padres are paying him. I'm doing exactly what I said I was going to do. I've seen enough. You cannot do this. If you have serious aspirations of being a playoff team, like I said 2 weeks ago, that the Cubs are going to make the wild card, you cannot have a weak stretch like you just did. The Marlins are not that good enough of a team to sweep the Cubs. They're not. The Nationals, no knock on Nationals fans, you guys get it, but you're a AAA team right now. At this point in 2023, the Washington Nationals are a AAA team. And you just lost 3 out of 4 to them. What do you want me to say? I've got nothing nice to say right now. Outside, I don't know. I'm extremely disappointed. We're below 500. Where did the team go that won the series against the Rangers, won the series against the Mariners, won the series against the Padres, won the series against the Dodgers, only lost the Dodgers season series by 1 game? Where did that team go? Because we boarded the plane, went down to Miami. It's like we hate playing on the East Coast. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. And, you know, I didn't do left hand up. I don't have notes prepared for this. I didn't mock anything up because the game literally just ended and I hopped on here to provide my raw, unfiltered thoughts. Just this is how I'm feeling after this road trip. This road trip sucked. Was not a good road trip. And I think what makes me even more upset about the entire thing is the Cubs had a perfect opportunity to jump ahead in the NL Central this week. And we squandered that. We absolutely squandered that. You take a look at what the National League Central has done this week. Everyone's on a losing streak. The Cardinals have lost 5 games in a row. They're 11 games under 500. You have the opportunity, if we split the road, what will we go, 1-6? If you go 3-4, 4-3, you're up 3 more games on the Cardinals, which just feels good. The Pirates have lost 4 games in a row. We could have been a game or 2 back behind them. We probably, if we would have played the entire month of April, we'd be in second place. We would have passed the Brewers, who are on a 3-game losing streak of their own. This division sucks. It's not hard to win. We should be ahead of these teams by leaps and bounds. And we just get in our own way. I'm not mad at the bullpen for this game. You need to put up, like, granted, we had a hell of a comeback in that 8th inning, but you carried it over into the 9th, and your 4, 5, and 6 batters go 1, 2, 3. Sometimes that happens. That's just the way baseball goes. That's baseball. Sometimes that happens. But then to go out in the bottom of the 9th, the first pitch is put in the left field bleachers. You can see why I'm upset. I don't know, man. 15-16 under 500. That sucks. That sucks for where this team was 2 weeks ago. Not even 2 weeks ago. What we were a week ago even. A week ago. We had won the series against the Padres a week ago, and it's just been a complete dumpster fire collapse since. I called it weeks ago that the end of April into May was going to be a tough stretch for this team. But when I said that, I was talking about those series against the Dodgers. I was talking about that series against the Padres. I expected at least a win in Miami, not getting swept. But losing 3 or 4 to the Nationals, you can't do that if you want to be competitive in this league. 2 straight days against the Washington Nationals, you only scored 1 run. Every loss except Tuesday to the Nationals was by 1 run. Every single loss. I'll give them Saturday's loss. They put up 6 runs. On a good day, that's enough to win a ball game. 2-3 on Friday. The Marlins should have won that one. 3-4 could go either way. Probably should have won that game. You win 5-1 on Monday. You lose 1-4 on Tuesday to the Nationals. That's fine. You should have won last night against the Nationals, and you should have won today. Sometimes that happens. But that's my recap of this road trip. With that being said, I'm going to dust my hands of it. We're not going to talk about it anymore. I'm still upset, but I'm done talking about it. Let's just put it behind us. Things could be a lot worse. We're only a game under 500. Still pleasantly surprised with the recap of the month of April. A lot of good things from this team. Where we're standing at right now, I don't know what team we're going to see tomorrow back at Wrigley. I would like to think that we're going to have a get-right series against the Marlins, and then you've got the horrible St. Louis Cardinals coming to town. Should be a good home stretch, but, I mean, I look at, based off this week alone, I'm scared for the month of May. I'm scared. I don't know what's going to happen with the Marlins. Cardinals, you should win 2 of 3 because they are just not a good baseball team right now. Then you go up to Minnesota for 3 games. I don't love that. Then you go to Houston for 3 games. I think we're going to get swept. I mean, if you got swept by the Marlins in Miami, you could get swept in Houston. It could happen. I hope it doesn't. I don't think it will, but it very well could happen, and I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. I don't think it'll happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get swept in Houston. Then, of course, you go to Philadelphia, who just got Bryce Harper back. That's not good because Bryce Harper loves playing against the Cubs in Philly. And then you come back home at the end of the month for a home stretch, 3 games with the Mets. That's scary. 3 games with the Reds. We all know how much the Reds love to beat the Cubs. I've said it several times on this platform that no matter how bad Cincinnati is, they find ways to beat us and win series against us. And then you've got arguably the best team in baseball, the Tampa Bay Rays, coming to Wrigley Field at the end of the month. So I'm going to say what I said a few weeks ago. This month it's either going to very much pleasantly surprise me, or we're going to find ourselves in a very deep hole that's going to be very tough to climb out of. But a lot of good things. Miguel Amaya made his debut. Miguel Amaya made his debut with the Cubs today. Gets his first start. Matt Mervis joining the team tomorrow. I'm hoping he's going to start at first base or he's going to start at DH. He should be a starter in the lineup with how he's hitting the ball. And depending on how desperate things get, I mean, he should already be on the team already, but Christopher Morel is slugging down in AAA. I'd like to think that if this homestand goes horribly wrong, not Matt Mervis, he's up tomorrow. Christopher Morel is headed to Chicago, not Chicago, but he's going to join the team in Minnesota next weekend. I don't have a lot of positive things to say, except I'm excited for Miguel Amaya. Sucks the conditions that he's brought up for with the Yan Gomes being placed on the concussion list. I hope he's okay. But you're excited to see Miguel Amaya finally get to make a start for the Cubs. He's had a long road to get here. Matt Mervis, we've been excited about this transaction all off season. So you hope he comes up and something translates. Other than that, just a really bad road trip. That's all. You can't really get too mad at the pitching staff when your offense just can't put up runs to win the game. Like, I can't be mad at Boxberger for the game-winning walk-off today. They had a chance to put up 2 runs. The Cubs probably should have won by 1. But what are you going to do? That's, like I said, that's baseball. Not a lot of no notes put together for this other than what I'm scrolling through on the MLB app and just emotions. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Matt Mervis brings to this team. Miguel Amaya should do well in the lineup also. So it's just going to be what David Ross does with the lineup construction, because now you're carrying 3 first basemen. We're right back where we were with the catchers. Where are you going to play these guys? Say is back, so you're not sticking Mancini in right. Mancini better be at first or he better be DHing. Same goes for Matt Mervis. Sorry, but it's starting to look like Eric Hosmer is the odd man out here. That's just the way it goes. You know, at the end of the day, you shake his hand, you thank him for what he's done. It's just not going to work. We'll see what Matt Mervis brings to the table. I think Eric Hosmer will stay on the team for a while, but if Matt Mervis comes up and he has a great homestand, Eric Hosmer's gone. Nothing against the guy, but if Matt Mervis is him, cut your losses. Eric Hosmer is just holding a spot on the Major League roster that Kyle Hendricks is probably going to fill here whenever he comes up. It should be sometime probably mid this month. But we take a look at, let's just preview tomorrow's game. Justin Steele against Edward Cabrera, I think, is pitching for them. Yeah, Edward Cabrera should be the probable starter for the Marlins tomorrow. I mean, Justin Steele is the guy that you want on the mound if you're the Cubs trying to have a get-right game back in Chicago. You're looking at Justin Steele tomorrow. You're looking at Drew Smiley, who loves pitching at Wrigley Field on Saturday. And then you're looking at Hayden Wesneski on Sunday. So there's a good opportunity somewhere there for 2 out of 3 in terms of wins, at least if we're judging it on starting pitching alone. I love Justin Steele and Drew Smiley getting starts in this series. I think that's going to help them a lot. Hayden Wesneski has just been hot and cold this year. And then when the Cardinals come to town, you restart it. It's probably going to be Stroman that first game against the Cardinals. And for St. Louis, it's looking like Mikolas is going to get the start, which Mikolas has not been great. And then on Tuesday, Jameson Taillon will probably get the start, which, he gave up the 3-run bomb today. But other than that, not horrible. Not horrible in his return from the injured list. He had 4 strikeouts, 1 home run, which was the 3 runs, and he went 3 innings. So Javier Assad looked great, though. 5 innings, wow. 5 innings with only 2 hits and 1 strikeout. I'd keep Javier Assad up and DFA Hosmer if Matt Mervis has a great week. But we'll see what happens. That's the recap from this horrible, horrendous road series. After today's episode, we won't talk about it anymore except to reference it if we have a great week, or we're going to reference it because it continued into the homestand. We'll most likely be back next Thursday. Cubs will have an off day, and we'll just see how the upcoming week goes. But go ahead, please clap. No, I'm just kidding. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, give us a 5 stars on Apple Podcast if you feel sorry for me or if you agree with my takes, which sometimes they can be hot, sometimes they can be cold, sometimes they're just right. You never know. But yep, follow us on Twitter at into_the_IV23. Should be a good time. As hard as this week was, that's all you got to do is just take it on the chin, smile, look up, and say, "Go Cubs, baby." We'll see you next time.